And we'll get this party started. Before we get started, since you guys are on chat on Zoom with us, tell us where you guys are all from, so you get to meet each other and see where we're all from. I'm from Texas. You can share it in the chat.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania's in the house. Awesome.
Colorado,
Love it.
Virginia.
Yay! All over the world. And
I
we are
must
now.
be the only Canadian girl here,
You might be.
at least today.
At least today,
At
but
least
we're
today.
live
There's
streaming the
others.
group too. Yeah, and I see a lot of eyes on us in the group too. So there's a lot in the group as well too. So yeah, as you are hopping on, wow, we just literally went live and there's already 9 popped on and more coming. Sweet. We had over 105 women register for this class. You guys we're super stoked for this. I know myself and Lori and Anita love educating on food. And I know I will be transparent. We are going to give you guys some things at the end. So stay tuned, stay on if you can. If you have to hop off, yes, we will drop the replay. We'll send it. Yes, the replay is actually going to be in the group already too, because we're live streaming. So as you are live, definitely say hi. I see a lot of you in the chat, or excuse me, in the group saying hi already. So good morning, good morning. We're gonna talk a lot today about food, obviously, right? Like food is key component, not just to losing fat and losing weight, but there's a key, your food is a key component on how you feel and how you function and how you can show up for your business and how you can show up for your kids and all the beautiful things. So you're going to hear it all from us today. Literally the title of this was called Behind the Scenes for a reason, and how much you need to eat to optimize your performance, aka have energy for life, energy for business, energy for your family, energy for all the things, and lose fat, because they do go hand in hand. Whenever you are trying to be successful at anything, your health has got to be a piece of it, right? Like when you agree, coaches in the house.
Of course. Yep. Just like anything, if you're having a business, we were just talking about this, you put yourself first so that you can show up for everybody else better, in a better way, whether that's be your kids or, your coworkers or all the things. Always put
Yeah.
yourself first. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not always easy, you guys, but it's worth it. And if you're in the chat or the group, like it is worth it, because it is so incredibly worth it, you guys. And you're going to meet the coaches here in just a second, you guys, but I always love to share, the expectations for today, expectations for this training, right? Because we put this training together for a reason. Like we would love to help busy women. Like if you're busy, again, there's another thing I see. I always love to ask you to drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments. If you're busy, put busy down below. Why? Because we're all busy. But this training today is really designed not just to tell you how much you need to eat, because we are going to tell you that. Okay. We're going to give you something that you can literally plug numbers in at the end. So again, you just have to stay tuned for that. But it's designed to help busy women, you guys, busy women, so that you can truly understand how much you need to eat, not the next person and your neighbor and your friend, but how much you need to eat, because it's so incredibly different, right? So that you can truly finally lose the fat, right? Because if you want to lose weight and pounds that are going to stay gone, you need to lose fat in the process, not just pounds. Okay. There is a difference, but we also want to help and teach you and help you shift mentally, because it does take a mindset shift, so that you can also understand that all of these things are going to help you do more than that. It's going to also help you live life. It's going to help you gain energy. Okay. That allows you to be more present with your family, more active with your family, and also more productive in your performance. And we say productive in your performance because that's so many things. That's like our client Melissa Dowd is more productive in her performance, meaning like she was crawling around in a maze thingy with her kids this weekend because she physically can do it, right? Or maybe that's just showing up for your business. Maybe that's mentally being able to focus. There's so many different things that it correlates to and benefits. And I will say, if you're watching this in the group on replay, please drop replay in the comments too, because it's important for us to see if you are actually coming on and you're watching it later, so that we as coaches know that we're serving you in a way that you need to be served, right? So before I go any further and keep talking, you guys, I want you all to meet two of the women that are honestly a lot more behind the scenes, I think, because y'all do so much magic with our clients. And I want them to meet y'all. So Lori, you're on my screen first, so I'm just gonna call you out first. I want y'all to meet Coach Anita and Coach Lori. You guys, y'all can also see behind the scenes, you know, when you're a coach with or when you're coaching with us, you get to work one-on-one with these ladies, and they were handpicked. And you know, we I think I'll be honest, I don't share this with you guys, but we get a lot of coaches come to me often like, do you have a spot in your team? Like, nope, I've got Anita, I've got Lori, and like we are one. And it's what makes us who we are. So I want you guys to meet Lori. She's going to introduce herself, and then Coach Anita, and then we'll go from there. So Lori, it's all you.
Okay, so Coach Laurie, I am from Pennsylvania. I'm a 48-year-old mom of 4. I have married almost 25 years now, coming up this year. Let's see, I've been coaching with Angela, under Angela, for 3 years now. What else about me? Yeah, just kind of short and sweet. Just got started. You know, my health and fitness, my journey grew as I go along in my seasons of life. It just continues to grow. My passion continues to grow. I learn new things, you know, just about myself. And I've always was the one that, you know, restricted food, and I felt horrible, and I had no energy, and I, you know, did all the things so wrong. But in turn, you know, I've learned so much about myself. So now I completely do it different. Now food is, you know, my friend, my fuel, my things that get me through, you know, how I respond to others, how I go about my day, all the things. But I just love to bring the awareness of that, because I was at the extreme of, you know, anorexia in my one time in my life. And now I'm on the opposite side of that, where I want to teach people and I want to empower other women that food is your fuel, it is your friend, and it's going to help you make you feel so much better. And I just love all things health and fitness, weightlifting, all the things. So I'm always going to be super passionate about that in my journey, and hoping to come across and coach other women that way.
I love it. And we appreciate you so much. And you guys, especially in the group, like tag Lori and tell her thank you, because still just a huge part of Fit Mama coaching. And so is Coach Anita. So Coach Anita, I'll try to turn it over to you so you can share about you.
Well, I am Coach Anita. I am up in Canada. I'm right above North Dakota. So I'm in Manitoba, about 30 minutes from the US border. I am 50 years old as of October, have 3 kids. 2 of them are already married. My baby has already graduated from high school. So my life looks a little different than it did when I started my fitness journey. But I did not start my fitness journey or just caring about health and wellness until I was well into my 30s. I was mid 30s, and I wouldn't say I never considered myself overweight, but I was definitely wearing clothes that were double digits. I didn't feel amazing. I kind of hid in my clothes, I guess, so to speak. And so I started with running because that's all I knew how to do. And so I went from half marathoner, started with walking a block, running a block, walking, running until I could actually do it without stopping, and just learning how baby steps do matter. I was very self-taught with, started with magazines and learning about eating clean and just, taking different advice from different places and applying it and seeing results. But then sidelined by a running injury, turned to weightlifting. Long story short, I've never looked back. Here I am. Started out being self-taught, ended up getting certified as a holistic nutrition health coach, personal trainer, so that I could work in a fitness facility. I worked out of a gym, one-on-one training clients. I definitely love the online space. I feel like there's so many more women that can be reached in the online space, as opposed to, here's your 1-hour session with so many clients and that's it. And you're doing workouts, but you're not talking nutrition. You're not talking mindset. You're not doing any of those things. You're making sure that they're shoulder pressing properly and those things. But there's so much more that health and wellness encompasses, that this online space that I've been blessed and privileged to work, under Angela for the last I guess this summer will be 3 years, right? I've kind of lost track of time. It's just what I do and love it. Yeah, so from self-taught to getting certified to working in a gym to now being in the online space, and loving being 50 and feeling better than I did when I was 30. So that's my story.
I love that. Yeah, and age is just a number, and you make 50 look so good. And I can't. I'm so grateful for you being here, and I know so many of our clients are as well too, and just our community, not just those that are working for us. So you guys tag Anita in the chat or in the group. Yeah, in the group, the chat, the comments, whatever you want to call them. Just tag her below and give her some love too, because these two women make Fit Mama Coaching still here. To be honest with you guys, 4 years. Starting actually next month is our 4-year anniversary. We're going to do some cool fun things for our 4-year anniversary that Fit Mama was born, you guys. And it's what we were going to share with you guys today. I'm going to share some screen. I'm going to share with you guys some things, soon in a little bit, but we like to dive into your head first and to help you explain like this training, who is this for, right? Like, and if you're on, then it's probably for you. If it interested you because of the title and what we named it, then it's more than likely for you, right? This training today is definitely for all of those women in our faith, our fitness, faith, and macros community. Like we call it that for a reason. Like that name is like that we handpicked it. Just like I handpicked these beautiful ladies to come on and be a coach with us. Because we're all on a mission together that's similar. We're also here. This training is also designed to help women, typically 35 to 40 and up, that want to lose fat, right? If you want to lose fat, put lose fat in the comments and just and share it out loud. Know that you're not alone. This training is also for women that are so sick and tired of feeling the way they are and that are truly ready for change, right? That are ready for change. And women who want their energy back and want to be able to be more productive and more active in their family life, their business life, their career, whatever it is that you do on a daily basis, right? We're entrepreneurs, so we talk a lot about entrepreneurs because we recognize how much if we don't take care of ourselves physically, we can't show up for you guys very well, I promise. It drives us every single day, right? And I want to tell you guys and be transparent to who this training is not for. I think it's important to set expectations because we're here to honor your time and never waste it. This training is definitely not for the women that are looking for another quick fix. And we love to share that out loud and be very transparent. We are not the quick fix coaches. We're not going to put you through something that's going to cause you to lose weight really fast with zero work or give you false hope. We like to be open and transparent. It's going to take work. Okay, it's going to take work. This training is not for those women that are not looking, that are just not willing to put in any work or effort, right? It's not for women who aren't willing to just put a little bit of time in yourselves because you deserve it. Put I deserve it in the comments because you truly deserve it and you need to recognize that, right? Coach Lori, myself, and Coach Anita together collectively have helped hundreds of women over these last 4 years. Hundreds. I need to go back and actually count because I would be curious to see how many through all of our programs lose fat that did equate to pounds, like hundreds and maybe even thousands of pounds. Again, I need to go back and actually count them. I'd be curious. But here's the other piece. Collectively, we also help women create a lifestyle that includes habits that doesn't just impact them, but also impacts their whole family. Help them be more present. I already said that, right? I'm going to say it again and again and again and again today because we want you to help you see also the bigger picture here isn't just about changing what you look like on the outside and changing what that scale says that every time you step on it. It's about helping you be more present as a wife, a mom, a grandma, an aunt, a cousin, whatever titles that you wear. We all have many hats. And we already said have more clarity. Again, your food is your best medicine, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. But also have more confidence in your own skin. How many of you guys would like more confidence just in your own skin in life, maybe in your marriage, maybe in your business? Put confidence in the comments. That's one of my favorite breakthroughs, results. What you guys, coaches, either one of y'all want to chime in on that piece? The confidence. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite transformation sometimes.
Yeah, it really does. Like if you like it's always going to bring tears to my eyes if somebody says, I just feel I look in the mirror and I like what I look like, or I like what I see, because I feel like I'm there, you know what I mean? And I know that all three of us are probably thinking the same thing. And a lot of women on here, you know, might be, or you're at the opposite and you're struggling with that confidence level, you know, that I mean, the transformation inside, I think, is what I love to see the most. And just that confidence builder and just walking around knowing that this is a lifestyle and this is how I'm going to live my life because I want to show up and I want to be present for my family. It's always going to just bring tears to my eyes because it's just that is the innermost beauty. You know, you're going to shine if you shine from the inside, and then you're gonna portray that on the outside. So that's I love it.
You know,
Said too much there.
I have had clients right here with Fit Mama Coaching, because you were saying how we've helped hundreds of women. And I was thinking about the women that I helped prior to Fit Mama Coaching in a gym. And I was like, well, you can only have so many clients because there's only so many hours in a day, you know, so that number is really, really small. And because it is only the fitness portion of helping someone, it just does not in my heart have the same impact that this does, because it all starts between the ears. And I think we know that, we agree on that. But when it comes to the confidence level, what I just wanted to add was that those women that we are coaching here now, I've been so excited. I think I've got 3 right now that have now moved their home workouts to walking into the gym. And if you would have asked them a year ago, they never would have worked at a gym. And it was because of lack of confidence. You know, people are watching and all these things. And now huge shout out to my girl Tammy, who's videoing herself in the gym and sending me those videos so that she's like, I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. And then there was one exercise, and I think she's okay with me saying this. She says, there's so many people around, I didn't want to take a video at this time. And I said, you know what, girl, you own it. You deserve to be there as much as anybody else. And so, you know, keep the videos coming. And but seeing the confidence of them being able to put on their, you know, their fitted gym wear and go, and knowing that they have every right as much as anyone else to be in the gym, to be doing their thing and look amazing doing it because they're confident, knowing that they're, you know, executing the tasks just beautifully. So confidence is really huge.
I love that. If you have ever joined a gym but never stepped foot in it due to lack of confidence, just write me in the comments because yeah, like I remember when I used to work at the gym, I saw a lot of people sign up and I got so excited and I never saw them again. You know, and as we have evolved as coaches, the more and more I realize in diving into the emotional side of a weight loss or fat loss journey, the biggest reason was because of their confidence. It had nothing to do with time management. Like a lot of people think it's time, and that is one issue some people have, but it's more of like their fear of what everybody else is going to think because I'm in the gym and I don't know what I'm doing, right? Like when in reality, a lot of those people were thinking the same exact thing, and they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about their own insecurities. And so, yeah, I love that so much that some of them are actually stepping foot in the gym now. That is so cool.
And
That's
really loving it, and really, really loving it. That's just fun. So fun.
so fun. I love it. Awesome. Yeah. So you guys listen, like again, on this call today, we're going to share and show you some things in a minute that's going to go along with calculations, and so that you can literally take something and literally plug your numbers in and give you your own macros today. Just know that that's coming. But you know, again, we can give you all the numbers in the world. You can actually go Google all kinds of formulas to tell you how much you should eat. You're going to get 20 different opinions. More than likely, maybe even more. You can Google meal plans. You can go to YouTube and get random workouts. You can get all of those things online. And that's where we feel so passionate about, is we like to also educate you before we give you those things. More importantly, our main program that we run, you guys, is called Fat Loss and Mindset Reset Program. Why? Because we're here to help you shift here as well too. Because if you don't shift here, nothing else is going to fall into place near like you could. And that's why today's training, we want to help talk about how to lose fat and gain more energy, how also by doing these things that we share with you guys today, it's going to help you lead by example. How many of you guys want to lead your kids by example? Or how about your team or your family or your employees, whatever the case may be? And we already talked about it, but we're going to probably say this 100 times because I can't stress enough. If you want more productivity and energy to even show up for your own business or your career, whatever it is that you do, it all starts with taking care of your vessel. Okay. God put us here in a vessel in this one body that we only have very temporarily, right, on this planet. So we have to take care of it, right? So we're going to reveal how much you need to eat. Okay. And I'm going to stress that because it's about you. It's not about the neighbor. It's not about the person that commented before you on this video. It's not about your friend that's doing this crazy thing. You know, should I go do that? No. We're going to reveal to you how much you personally need to eat so you can finally lose fat, right? How much you need to eat so that you can gain energy. How much you need to eat so you can lead your family and your team or whatever it is that you do to have more success. How much you need to eat so you can be a better version of you. And that's what it boils down to, is so you can be a better, healthier, happier, more joyful, and maybe a leaner. We all want to be, right, version of you. And one of the biggest things is when you are on that journey to lose fat, you gain so much energy. And if you have been on this journey where you start to change your eating habits, and maybe Coach Lori or Coach Anita, maybe if either one of y'all have a thought or even an example of a client, like as soon as they started changing their eating habits with what we teach them, because we start with habits, we don't dive right into macros, then the first thing a lot of women gain is what? It's their energy, right? They start to feel better almost instantly. When y'all say,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%. Yeah. Because it's just you're just teaching them just tiny little habits to start off, like we're not throwing those numbers at you. And then by drinking more water and moving your body just a tad more, you're gonna instantly just feel better and you're gonna have energy.
1000%.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go over our habit tracker. If you haven't seen our habit tracker that's in our group, we're going to go over that very briefly first today, not just right this very second, but it's coming up. Why? Because it's the little habits, it's the small things, it's those mundane, boring things that we just talked about earlier, Lori. Like those are the things that are going to move the needle. Okay. And those are the things that are going to give you that energy first and foremost, right? That's going to allow you to do all the things that you want to do. And most importantly, show up for everyone in your life. Okay. It's not about you. And I'm trying to drill that in your head today, because when you show up for you, everybody else is positively impacted. They feel, I made a post yesterday about Melissa Dowd. I'm going to brag on her today. She's one of our clients. She works one-on-one with Coach Lori. And she literally, her kids are going to remember that mama was active and mama was excited and mama got on the ground and played with her kids. They're not going to remember how much weight she lost. They're not going to remember what size pants she wore, what the scale said. Our families don't remember any of that, you guys. And neither is our teams. Those y'all that are growing businesses and all the things. They're going to remember how you feel, how joyful you were, how excited you were, how much energy you had. And they're going to feed off of that, right? If you agree, put agree in the comments. Make sure you are still with me on that one. It's so important. So one of our very first things that we love to really help you understand is that your food is not only to help you with your outward appearance, you guys. And ladies, as soon as you can flip the switch on thinking my food is going to help me lose weight, my food is going to help me look a certain way, and you can start thinking, you know what, my food is my instructions on how I am supposed to feel and function, then I promise you're going to have a little bit easier of a time. I'm never going to tell you that it's going to be easy. Like us coaches don't tell you it's easy. We like to tell you the truth, right? It's not easy. But it makes it a little bit easier when you wake up every day, like trying to make these food choices, not because of what you look like, not because it's going to make me lose weight, because like this is going to help me feel and function good today. And I can actually show up for my business and my team. This is going to help me feel all the things that I want to feel. Or I could do this and go down a road of eating something that's not going to serve me. And that's going to make me feel tired, crabby, moody, maybe even a headache, and not able to focus very well, right? Your food is your instructions. So comment instructions in the comments so that I know that that's setting in. And Coach Anita, do you have anything to say on instructions? I know this is something that we all three love to hone in on. Sorry, I called you out. You're muted.
You're muted again. There you are.
That's one way to keep me quiet. What are we talking about?
Instructions, your food is your instructions, how you feel is your
Instructions.
function. Sorry.
You know, I was talking with one of my clients yesterday. We just hopped on a call just to go through some of her nutritional choices and things. And, you know, you can really play this a lot of ways in how, you know, we can just talk about this kind of stuff all day, but, you know, you can eat whatever you want, right? I'm very against good and bad, but I will say that there are some things that are going to be better than other things. So, you know, so reviewing a food diary and seeing the food things, and I said, well, where's the vegetables? Where are these things? Like, this is a carb and this is a carb and this is a carb, and that's great. But where, you know, so you look at the instructions and you look at the food choices, and then you go, there's nothing wrong with what you are eating. However, you start looking at some of the, you know, we always ask for the biofeedback. How are you feeling? How's the, like, your brain fog, your mental clarity, your energy, and all of those things. And then you can dig in a little bit deeper and go, when it comes to the food, like what you are putting in your body, if it's all just, I'm going to use a donut as a carb example, right? Because a donut's a carb, but so is broccoli. And so when you look at that, what kind of instructions is the donut giving you? And what kind of instructions is the broccoli giving you? You can fill up your macros and the numbers, and you can eat what you want to reach those numbers and to hit those targets based on the calculations. But what is that food saying and telling your body and how it should respond? You know, and so that there's just different layers to nutrition, and so many ways to get it done and to dissect a little bit of what you're eating. That's what I love to do when, you know, we're having these calls and we're looking at things. It's like, there's nothing wrong that you have these things, but could we do it better? Let's find some ways. We're not taking things away. We're going to probably add more things to what you're having to make it better. So that's where the instructions, you know, looking at wellness as a whole and not just about, I want to lose weight. So, okay, this is a fat-free this and you know, all of these other things, but rather looking at what this food is telling your body to do, I think is really a powerful mindset shift to make with the choices that you're making.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right. Like, there is no good or bad. Like, we love to educate you on it's more of like good, better, best, right? You know, it's definitely, and that's a perfect segue into carbs, because that's one of the other mindset shifts that we love to help women see. Like, if you want to truly lose fat, build muscle, do all the beautiful things, where you want to change your waist size and you want all those things to stay gone, you cannot cut your carbs out.
Mhm.
We see this all the time. When you say, Lori, you want to chime in
Yeah.
on carbs?
Yeah, it just brought to me, I have one of my clients and I was like, okay, well, so now you're at the weight that you want to be. You're feeling very good at where you want to be. So now your goal is to build the muscle, but you're going to still maintain, well, we need to up your carbs. And, you know, I think she was kind of a little bit hesitant, but then she was, in turn, she was feeling very sluggish. She wasn't having the energy and all the things. So now, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we upped her carbs, and she's maintaining her, you know, scale weight, but her body is changing, you know, and the difference in the pictures, and that's Moretta, like you could tell the difference in the pictures, and she's just very, now she's at a point where she's building that muscle. And that is the instructions that she's giving her body, and it's not going to make her gain the weight. You know, it's gonna help her feel her body differently for her workouts, for the way that she shows up, and the way she looks, you know, in the mirror. So yeah.
I think that there's a huge misconception that to build muscle, you have to eat protein. And I'm not saying that's not true, but you need to eat protein with carbs to build muscle. You know, years ago, I was always told, don't even remember where, but it's those carbohydrates. That's the car pushing the muscle or the protein into your muscles. It's the combination of the two. So if you're just like protein, 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 and there's no carbohydrates to complement that, it makes the muscle building, it's fighting an uphill battle. So
Right. And I know that, like, you know, and I it's confusing, and I want you to be like okay with that. Like, if you're confused, you know, then that's okay. That, like, that's why we are here to help guide you in that direction, and help you have that balanced meal, and to let you know that, you know, we were all confused in the very beginning, right? You know, but now we have to do it differently. And that's why teaching a balance is so important these days.
Yeah, 100%. And shifting our mind. And this is why we're talking about shifting before we give you numbers today. Why? Because it's so incredibly important. And we can give you all the macro numbers in the world and tell you how many carbs to eat. But if your brain still sees carbs as bad because everybody is telling you to cut them out, including doctors, you guys, I won't go on that tangent, but even our doctors tell us to, go on this 1,000-calorie diet and don't eat carbs. Really, like that's not doing anything except for maybe dropping the scale temporarily. But then it's going to come back. How many of you guys have ever lost weight and regained it again and again and again, right? Like put regain in the comments just so we know what you're referring to, because that's what those things lead you to do, right? And we are very passionate and to teach you how to not do that. And it takes that mindset shift that is so incredibly important for you to be able to be okay with, let's lose fat instead. Why? How do you do that? You got to eat your carbs. In order for you to build muscle, like Anita said, yes, we need protein, but we need carbs too, y'all. Your body cannot build even muscle if you don't have some fuel in it, and your carbs are your preferred source of fuel. So type it in the comments. Carbs are my friend. Okay, carbs are my friend. They really, really are. And once we wrap our head around that, you guys, again, it's a breakthrough that a lot of women have when we start to up their carbs and we tell them to eat more, especially when they go from a fat loss phase into a reset phase. Doesn't mean starve you, even it doesn't mean starve you ever. It actually means eat more. And they're like, wait, what? And then when they do that, guess what happens? The scale continues to drop or it stays the same, but they feel good and all the beautiful things, because we want to feel good too, right? We don't just want to look a certain way. We want to feel good. Put feel good in the chat in the comments, because we have to feel good. And you guys can all relate to, like, if you don't feel good, you're not going to be very active with your family, right? Because you're tired and we want to sit on the couch, right? If we don't feel good, we're not going to want to have conversations with the people for the business that we're trying to grow, right? Those of you guys that are trying to grow a business. If this is resonating with you because you are trying to grow a business, comment business in the comments just so we can see who those people are, right? Again, I cannot stress enough, how you feel and how you treat this and your body and your mind affects everything in your life, including how you can succeed in all the things that you're trying to do, right? It impacts your level of success. Even in our marriages, y'all. I'm not going to go on that tangent, but the same thing. If we don't feel good with our confidence or our body or any of those types of things, no energy, the last thing we want to do is even be playful and fun in that environment. You know what I mean? But we're going to walk you through. Actually, I have 3 things to walk you through in just a second. But y'all, every day, Coach Anita and Lori and I, and even Reagan, you guys, if y'all haven't met Reagan, a lot of you guys have probably talked to Reagan Nicole. She's on our team. She's came as a client and we fell in love with her. She fell in love with us, and now she helps us impact women. And if you get a reach out from her, it's because she's an extension of us trying to help you. But every day, we all hear from women, I have no idea where to start on what to eat. I have no idea where to start, right? When you agree, put agree in the comments if you're agreeing with me on this, right? Or I have tried every diet out there and nothing worked, right? Hear this all the time. Or I'm so sick and tired of always being on a diet. That's called sitting on the sidelines of life because we're so obsessed over what we eat, right? And I blame a lot of that on our world and our society because it's created us that way. Or I don't have enough time to focus on me, right? Or I avoid pictures like the plague because I don't like how I look, right? So therefore you're not in your family pictures. Like so many different things. How many of you guys curious have ever told yourself I'm too busy to slow down and eat? Just put busy again in the comments. I've been there. That's when my world all came crashing down, y'all, because 4 or 5 years ago, I was focusing on everybody else. I was skipping workouts. I was teaching group fitness classes. I was doing my network marketing business. I was a mom of 2 small ones at the time, changing diapers and doing all the things. I was eating whatever was left over on my kids' plate instead of slowing down enough to make my own food. Let me tell you real quick, everything, including all my businesses, started crashing down to the point where we're like, oh my God, we might lose our house because mama's not making any money. Mama doesn't have anything to give to anybody else. And then finally, the best decision I ever made after paying mortgage on a credit card 3 months in a row was maxing out my last credit card to get help, to get a coach. Because I was like, it's make or break time. Mama's going to have to go work somewhere else, which is going to take me away from my kids. And I absolutely refused. I'm not going to do it. And so if we're resonating with you, you guys, and you are ready for change, and you are ready to do whatever it takes to get, whether it's to get help or just make change and take these action steps we guys give you guys today, and start implement them, just put ready in the comments. I want to see who's ready, like who truly is ready. Because we're going to give away some things here in shortly that most coaches charge you for. And why are we giving it away? Because we want to. We want to impact more women. We're all on a mission on 2024 to just do more and impact more, right? We're going to give you some numbers. We're going to give you some calculations. We're going to give you some habits you can literally start walking away with right now today so that we can help you guys. Okay. And some of you guys may take them and run with them. Some of you guys may take them, print them, and not do a single thing with them. Because that might be the cycle that you're in right now, like going and searching for every free resource out there in the sun and not doing a single thing with them, right? A lot of us fall in that category, and that's okay. If you're putting, if that is you, and just know that that's okay, you're not alone, right? So I am going to start off. I see a lot of readies in the comments. Do y'all see all the readies? Like that's amazing. Ready, 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 ready. Keep scrolling. I love it. Awesome. 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 All right. So I've got 3 things I'm going to share the screen, and the coaches are going to help me walk you guys through these things. First one, and I will be transparent, you guys, because I love to tell y'all, I love to always tell you be transparent and share with you guys, even in our 6-month one-on-one coaching program, we don't start you with macros. Okay. If you've ever done macros, just put the word macros in the comments, because that's one thing that we do, but it's not the only thing that we do. We believe in them because you heard Lori say the word balance. You need balance in your nutrition. And that's what macronutrients is, but a lot of people are confused with macros. If you're confused with macros, put confused in the comments. How many, Anita and Lori, you guys, we get women all the time that have tried macros and they're like, it's not for me. I'm so confused. When y'all say? Because it's overcomplicated.
Or I have some who, that's what I love about the one-on-one is we're going at your pace. So we might have a protocol of where we like to start you. We start with this and by a certain week, a certain timeline, we like to plug you into that so that we can help you get those results. But if you're not ready, you're not ready. And so we baby step you through that process as well. Some people want to start sooner than we normally would. It really depends on your experience. And that's where, the one-on-one just is so powerful because we meet you where you're at.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I think I love it so much. And I see a lot of confused drop in the comments. And I get it, because literally I was on a training not long ago from different coaches teaching people macros, and I left confused, y'all. And we freaking coach macros. Remember me telling y'all that? I was like, oh my God, my head hurts. How they just explained it. Like I'm confused, and we do this for a living.
If you're confused, there's really no hope for anyone else.
No, I'm like, the calculations are way too complicated. Well, we're here to tell you guys today, we made it so incredibly easy for y'all, I promise, because our word also going into 2024, but even prior to that, our motto for all of our coaching is simplicity. We want to simplify things for you, not overcomplicated. There is so many things out there in today's world that are overcomplicated, and I guarantee you could go Google today, and I do not encourage anybody to do this, but you could go Google macro calculations, and you'll probably come up with 5 different ones with 20 different steps that have you create this, and then the other. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, my head hurts. That's how I felt whenever I got off that last training. But I was only on there because I was like, I'm curious how they coach it. And I'm like, I'm not doing it that way. Like, nope. Okay. We're not going to do that. So here's the thing. I'm going to share my screen. And I want to know if you have downloaded our Fit Mama habit tracker. Awesome. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and you're like, I would love the habit tracker, then comment habit tracker in the comments. And myself, or one of these beautiful coaches, or Reagan, you'll hear from one of us and we'll get you the habit tracker. It is actually pinned to the top of our group. And why did we want to start here? Because listen, another huge mistake we see a lot of women make, you guys, when it comes to nutrition, is they're diving right into macros and all the formulas, and they're trying to track their calories, their carbs, their fats, their proteins, their fibers, their sugars, and what else? Sodium. And like, I mean, just saying that out loud is overwhelming. You don't have to start there. This is our favorite place. If you're not ready to go into like food tracking and all that jazz, then download our Fit Mama Habit Tracker. I see a lot of comments on Habit Tracker. Okay, you're gonna hear from us, you're gonna hear from Reagan, we're gonna get you that Habit Tracker. This is it. This is it. Laura, you want to help me explain the first two, and then Anita, I'll have you help me on the second two. Keep it simple,
Yeah.
y'all.
Let me pull it up here. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Can you see my screen? Sorry,
Yeah, I can see it now. Yep.
Y'all out. I'm putting
So,
on the spot.
well, so just explain the first two. Yeah. So, drinking water, first daily, and something that it was funny because I just saw something that pulled up this morning. I was watching it, and well, I knew this, but it just goes to show you that like when you like if you're somebody that like wakes up right away in the morning and you're like going right to your coffee and all the things, you're automatically sending your body a different signal, and your cortisol levels gonna go up right away, right? And you're sending a different signal to your body to go right into the coffee or go right into something else. It's so good to we're sleeping for 7 to hopefully 8 hours a night. You're getting a good night quality sleep, and then you're waking up, you're dehydrated. Like, give your body that water that it so desires. I can't tell you how many times I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I'm so thirsty, like I've turned to, just drinking a whole glass of water, not like a big water bottle or anything. Like, I'm not going towards this right away, but it's just at least like maybe an 8 ounce, 6 ounces of water. Give your body that water first before you go right into your coffee and things like that. It'll just send such a different signal to yourself. And like I said, the cortisol level is studied, like it's gonna rise, and your blood sugars are going to be off, all the things. So that's my water first, and that's always going to be ingrained, in myself, and hopefully come across, anybody that we coach. And walking 15 minutes or 7K steps. I'm a big step tracker. I love to track my steps, whether that be intentional, you're getting out there, you're doing maybe a 30-minute intentional walk, you're going outside, you're I don't know, just getting that movement. I think if we're sitting at a desk all day, like, and we're stagnant in our life, we're not getting that movement in. It just the movement, a body in motion is going to stay in motion, right? And if you're sitting all day and you're not moving and you're not giving that intentional time to move your body around, it's going to feel a lot different. And if you're somebody that sits all day, you're going to lack the energy. So your body needs and craves that movement. So that's why we always say 15-minute walks, or start, if you have something to track your steps, I highly, highly recommend it. Just to start there. Start small. You don't have to go towards, I know there's a lot of buzz out there. Hit your 10K steps a day. Start small. Give yourself, I know that Kate, her and I working together, just starting small with her, how many steps she's getting per day. And we're going up, So yeah, start simple, start small.
Love it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And then Coach Anita, I'll let you do gratitude.
Okay. Well, gratitude. I think that one, I think it's easy, but it's not easy. When you realize you cannot have a negative mind when you start being thankful for things. And so simply starting, I mean, you can say them out loud, you can write them down while you're drinking your water in the morning, right? You could think about the things you're grateful for with your first 10 minutes on your treadmill in the morning or outside for a walk. You can tell I'm Canadian when I say treadmill first, right? In our cold winters, we have to spend a lot of time on those. But I am thankful that I have a treadmill that I can walk on when it is minus 30 outside, and being thankful. You can't be grateful and negative at the same time, which is why it's such a powerful practice to implement daily. Just like bathing, do it daily. You can't carry over to the next day. Do it daily. Be thankful. And then be thankful that you can move. Like there's the list is endless. And then when we move on to eating protein per meal, I think this is something that is just really important for all of us as women as we age, all of the things. I think it's just the macronutrient that's the least, the toughest for women to get into their diets. And so we love to focus on that. You know, we talk about protein a lot. It's satiating, it helps you to build lean muscle, just so many good things. And so as coaches, we're always looking at that when we're reviewing your food journals and all of the things, looking at clean, lean protein sources and what that looks like to build that best body of yours as well.
I love that. Yeah. You're so right. Like grateful mind is so hard to be negative, y'all. And this is why we chose gratitude for this habit tracker, but you may have a different habit that works for you. But the key is pouring some sort of positivity in your brain, in your head every single day. It is a must. It is a must in every aspect of life. It's a must if you grow a business online like we do with online space, like it's preached in there as well too. It should be part of it for your weight loss as well too, your weight loss, your fat loss, all the things, because yeah, like we have a million things thrown at us every single day that have negativity attached to it. Shifting your mind is so incredible. And I love that you started like just shifting your mind into yourself. Like, I'm grateful that I have a treadmill. I can't imagine I don't have a treadmill and I live in Texas. And a lot of days lately, I wish I did, because as these beautiful women know that I'm horrible at cold. I hate it. That's why I live in Texas.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
Not a fan. I hate it. Awesome. All right. So habit tracker again, you guys, it's super simple. A lot of the women started using it. A lot of the women are checking it off. You can print it, you can screenshot it, and you use your phone to check off, like, and post in the group, this Fitness, Faith, and Macros group. If you're someone that is like not doing anything right now, I highly recommend starting with the tracker. Why? Because baby steps, like both of these coaches just said, you guys, baby steps, start with habits before you dive into tracking macros, especially if you've never done it before, because you're going to build your confidence along the way. You're going to create habits that's going to turn into a lifestyle. If you gain consistency with it, that's going to be where the grit and the discipline pops in, right? So that's the first resource, habit tracker, in the comments. If you don't have it yet, we'll get it to you. The second thing that we want to give you, and this is going to go out with you, with our replay today. This will go out to you guys in your emails, so don't worry. We felt, again, simplicity is our goal. And in order for us, we have a macro mini course that we did a while back that people still download, and that walks you through the math piece of this. You guys, we don't want to throw another math equation at you. We want to do it for you. That's what makes it even sweeter. So what I'm going to show you now is what you guys are all going to get in your email. Okay. So this is for you guys. And this is why we're only taking a very small percentage of our time today to share it with you. Because all you have to do is type in your numbers. All you have to do is open this. Okay. And at the very top, all you do is fill in the blanks. Okay. I'm just gonna make up Fit Mama. Fit Mama is the name, right? Put your name on it if you want to, don't, it's up to you. But this is going to calculate it for you. Okay. So say, for example, I weigh 165 pounds. You're going to type in 165 pounds. Now you need to know how tall you are. If you don't know how tall you are, like I used to be 5'5". I think now I'm like 5'4". I don't know. Or do we shrink when we get older?
Yes, we shrink. Yes.
Not fair. But okay, so I'm gonna put, what is that, 64 inches? I'm gonna put
64
inches. See? And then I'm 42, y'all. So I'm just throwing out some random numbers. Some of that is my real numbers and some of it is not. Not that it really matters. All you're gonna do is you're gonna get this, and all you have to do is type in these numbers right here. Okay, just type it in the blue. Now the other piece over here, you're gonna type in, only fill in the blue, and this will come with instructions. What is your goal? Okay, so say I want to lose 20 pounds to get to 145. Right? What is your fat percentage goal? That's going to depend on you. Do you know what your fat percentage is now? If you don't, believe, it's not a big deal. Okay. But I'm just going to put 18%, right? Now what you're going to do next, if you're trying to lose fat, if you want to lose the weight, okay, then all you're going to do is you're going to go right here and you're going to look your needed macros for desired goal. And this is what we call a fat loss phase. This is your fat loss phase where you can start focusing right now on these numbers. Okay. It shows 1,504 calories, 46 grams of fat, 107 in carbs, and 165 in protein. That's what this says. As a coach, I would probably tweak those two numbers just a little bit, but that's where the customization and the one-on-one comes in, y'all. Okay. Just FYI. I know me and Lori and Anita probably both look at those numbers and be like, I would probably drop protein just a little bit and up the carbs because
Yeah.
that's what I see. And
Big
I would be
time.
like, yep, I
Yeah.
would absolutely flip those a little bit. But listen, it's a place to start. And that's what we want to give you guys this so that you can start, not so that you can, just listen to the habits that we're talking about and look at 27 different formulas and get more confused than you were before you even got on this call, right? And so again, that's where the customization comes in with coaching. And if you're in a place you're like, this sounds great and all, but maybe I do need coaching instead, we have an application that we'll drop in the comments and in the chat and all the things. Because if you are more in a place of like, okay, this sounds great, but I think I just need somebody to hold my hand. Y'all, we're human too. I have a coach that I use off and on all the time. Like when I'm feel myself slacking, hey coach, can you
I love me some hand holding.
Yeah, I love being handheld. I love somebody tell me what to do instead of
Yeah.
me trying to figure it out on my own. Talk about getting some time back, right?
Well, and even if you do take this, you do take these numbers and say, okay, I'm going to do this. And, one of the missing pieces is being super consistent in following it for a certain length of time to even know if this is what is going to work for you, right? Like, just for a computer to print out what they think your body mass index is, or to, without more data, it's hard to know specifically, right? Some of us have more muscle on our bodies, some have more fat. What is a healthy body fat goal for me, as a woman in my 50s? Like there's so much data that, having that hand holding is really helpful, as we journey together as well.
Yeah, you're so right. And going straight from that into, like we said, like this is why we didn't want to spend a lot of time on math and calculations, because we're going to send that to you guys. You can calculate it. But exactly what Anita said, so incredibly important to be consistent with it, right? With these goals that it gives you. But also be consistent with tracking your progress, because that's exactly what we do with our clients. We track their progress on a regular basis. Why? Because if they are being consistent in their food and there is no change in the progress, well, then it's time to tweak. It's time to make changes. And here's the other flip side of it, because this is what we do as coaches, and this is not something we teach because it's not, I don't feel like it's really teachable. And maybe that's not the right choice of words, but we take women through fat loss phases, and it is so customized to each person. It's so incredibly hard to do a class and teach you guys all how to do it on your own, because you will walk out of here like, okay, I'm so more confused than I was when I got started. If we try to teach that, I think, in my personal opinion. But because this is a starting point, you guys, ladies, this is a starting point. This can get you started. And it's probably going to be way much better than most people are doing right now. Most women are under eating in general, or they're straight up not eating enough carbs. And most of them absolutely aren't eating enough protein. From our personal and professional experience, that's what we see on a regular basis. But this is a great starting point, a great baseline. But even when we coach women, you can only follow the same set of macros for about 12 to 16 weeks tops. And then guess what starts to happen? If you are consistent and you have consistent results, and it's not a flat line, y'all. It doesn't happen that way. It is like a little roller coaster. And as long as that roller coaster is riding its way down, then you're winning. Okay. But you also get to that point where we kind of plateau and your body stops responding to those macros. And that's when we take you through another phase, which we call metabolic reset phase, y'all. And then we have to judge you and your body and how consistent you are and what's happening. And again, that's why I don't know that I wouldn't even begin to know how to teach that.
Yeah.
Because it's from experience coaching women and knowing how their bodies respond. And I don't know how to put that into a class. So I was reading a comment. I'm in starvation mode and need out, so I'll take. Yeah, exactly. And that's where a lot of people are, ladies. Like a lot of people are in starvation mode because we've been trained to undereat and cut our calories and cut all of our carbs and do all the things. And we call most of the women, when we get started, we just have them track something so we can see what they're eating, and they're way drastically under eating. Okay. And yeah, I'll stop there because I think I could go on another hour tangent, and I won't. Y'all will probably shoot me if I'm still on here talking. But I do have one more thing I want to share, because this is going to come to you guys in an email as well too, and then I will promise we'll wrap it up and respect y'all's time as promised as well too. But say if you leave this call today and you start with habits, download the habit tracker, do the habit tracker, check off the habit tracker, share the habit tracker in the Facebook group or on social media or both, and tag us why so we can help you with that accountability, because accountability is everything. My personal opinion. Put it in the comments. Accountability is everything. This is why even us as coaches use coaches sometimes. Why? Because we need accountability just like everybody else. But this last piece that I want to share with you, say you leave this call today and you use that form that we're actually going to send out to you in an email, and you calculate your macros and what is my next step? Well, then you figure out whatever macro calculator you want to use. MyFitnessPal is the one that we personally use, mostly because it actually syncs to our FitMama app. And so when we have clients that are working with us, they track their food and then it syncs into our app. So we as coaches get to see your whole life. We get to see your food, we get to see everything. And that's a huge piece of the accountability. But I want to share this with you. I'm going to go through it really quick because your tips to tracking macros for simplicity. Step one, go into MyFitnessPal or whatever app you choose to use and just track your protein first. Y'all just start there. And if you don't track anything else every day for a little while, that's okay. That's how we start some of our clients. But track your protein first. Just go through your day and plug in all your protein sources. Why? So you don't fall short at the end of the day and you're trying to eat 50 grams of protein at the end of the day just so you hit a number, right?
I think it's one of the hardest, it's one of the hardest macros for women to hit. And so like you said, sometimes this is all we start with, and then let the fats and carbs fall into your caloric goal overall. I find that to be such a powerful and helpful way to get started.
Yeah. So there you go. If you don't do anything else beyond what this first step is, then you're golden. And I promise you're going to start seeing some change. You're going to start feeling a lot better than you might be right now. But then step two is go in after you've plugged in your protein. Now you plug in your carbs, right? Get your fruits in, get your veggies, fruits and veggies, fruits and veggies, fruits and veggies. Sounds like a song. But eat it. I know, right? Like too many kids shows in my brain.
I know.
Mom life just came out. Plug in your carbs, y'all. Plug in your carbs. And then the third thing is plug in your fat wherever's needed. Because the beautiful thing is you're going to get a lot of your fat already from the meats you choose. And you're going to get carbs, or depending on what you're eating and what you're using. Now you just need to plug in the rest. Okay, but break it up into little stages. And then the last piece of this cheat sheet does have it does have a nice little list for you guys. It shows you some lean protein, some lean carbs, some lean fats. This is not a list of you can only eat this though. Just know that. This is not like you can only eat what's on this list. No, that's not it at all. This is just ideas, suggestions. You can have pizza night when you want to. Guys, I have pizza night with my family often. It's my favorite cheat meal and I make it work. I fit it in because if I know it's going to happen, I plug it in and then I track the rest of my day to make sure I'm still on point. Okay. Don't restrict yourself. Macros is about food freedom. But it is a process. Okay. Yeah, I love it. I see a lot of so if you did find this helpful today, drop helpful in the comments. I see a couple already saying helpful, so you just gave me an idea.
Can I just say one thing?
Please.
So when you see those lists, I know a lot of people think that it's this inclusive list and that that's what I can eat. And like you just said, that's not true. So with this call I had yesterday, it was about, sometimes we get so set in our ways. I mean, I'm probably the oldest one here, and yeah, we get set in our ways and this is how we do it. And I really want to have a wrap, but so we were talking about wraps and things like that. Now, when you recognize a wrap as a carb and you can go, oh, I could have this instead. And you sort of just replace that food with this food when you recognize what your carbs are and when you recognize what your proteins are. And then you can come up with a million different combinations. It doesn't have to be boring. It can be basic. It can be boring because Coach Lori and I like boring because it keeps it simple for us. But there's just so many ways to do it well. It's not right or wrong. It's just, we can help you find different ways that it can make it fun again, And so to say, instead of the wrap with chicken in it, why don't you do your favorite rice, whatever, with your chicken, with your broccoli? Now you're getting your veggies in, whereas before you were just like not getting any of the micronutrition in amongst you know, your macros. So just lots of fun ways to take from that list, but then play around with it and get creative.
I see some comments are coming in saying, Anita, you are not the oldest one here.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. If you're
Well,
brave, if you're brave, drop your age in the comments. I'd love to see that. I really do. 22, loud and proud.
And I think, and we're all on the same page, all three of us. We love to educate you. We don't want to talk at you. We want to educate you. And I think, Reagan, I'm going back to a comment that you said a little bit earlier. Just you didn't know until we really went through it very slowly, and it was very patient. And we're going to be very patient with you. We're not going to throw all these things down your throat. You know what I mean? It's going to be at your pace, your race. And that's where I feel like the biggest wins are, we're being very patient with you and showing you little things at a time and giving you that education of why, right? So go ahead.
Anita, go ahead. Were you going to say something, Anita?
Oh,
Or
I
we
was
did?
gonna- you
Go for
don't just tell us to do it. You tell us why we need to do it.
Mhm,
And that's
mhm.
that's the difference in the coaching perspective I've had working with you versus what I've had working the last 10 years with coaches.
Mhm.
So I feel that my dollar went a longer way in this platform than it has in anywhere else I've ever been, because you didn't just tell me to do it. You told me why I needed to do it. And it's the same thing with my workouts, my nutrition, anything you told me to do, you always had a reason why.
Yeah, and it's important to know that too, and we don't want to just throw those things at you. I know that going back to like when you were coaching with me, Reagan, and just some of the things that you were doing, and I helped you tweak, and now I hope that you still feel better and you're still implementing some of those things, and because those things that came up, in your food logs and stuff, I'm like, this isn't serving you well. You know what I mean? How can we tweak this? How can we make it better? And this is the reason why you're feeling this way. So, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, knowledge is power. And that's really, this is why we just really spent a very like not even 5 minutes at most, if that, on the calculation piece of this, because to me that's boring. We'd rather just give it to you, but then shift and educate you. And that's exactly what we do on that one-on-one level in our coaching programs, because we don't want you to have to rely on a coach for the rest of your life and you only do things because Lori said to do them or Anita said to do them. Like they did them, and then we educate you a little bit. We don't bombard you with a ton of information, honestly. It's very small, like, I want you to do this and here's why. And then that way, in the future, when you do graduate and it does become a lifestyle and you go on your own, then you can continue, and you always have Lori or Anita in your ear saying, I need protein. Why? Well, oh yeah, she told me because I need it for XYZ, right? And so just give yourself grace. Know it's a process. Nobody gets macros overnight. And if you're shooting to get it overnight and be perfect, you're setting yourself up for a really big disappointment. I love it. Anybody else have anything y'all want to say? Anita or Lori or anybody else for that matter? Y'all can drop questions or we'll wrap it up.
No, I think we covered a lot. I feel really, confident that this was, hopefully you got a lot of value out of it, and just want to teach you the education around everything and the macros, and it's okay to feel confused. Just know that it's a learning process, and we still have clients that we work with, all of us, it's still a learning process every single day, and you learn as you go.
Because it's a lifestyle. It's not
Right.
a life sentence.
Right, exactly. Not a life sentence.
Absolutely.
I'm still learning.
And
Learning every day. I'm learning that it's hard to hit my protein if I don't track beforehand. Still, to this day, it's still hard if I don't do the things that I'm teaching and don't apply them to myself, right? Which is why I need people checking in on me too. So
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Accountability is everything. Give yourself grace, you guys. But the biggest picture we will hope you got from today isn't just the numbers and the macros that you're going to be able to calculate as soon as you get your email. It'll be in just a little while. I'm going to send it along with the video replay so you guys can have it for life. It's going to be in the group as well too. But we want you to also understand your food isn't just about how you look like on the outside. Your food and what your choices that you make on a daily basis do not only impact how your pants fit or impact what that number says every time you hop on a scale, or that you know, the pant size that you wear. And the other piece of it is, remember, the people around you, your team, your family, your kids, your business, they could care less about what those numbers are. They care more about how you feel. They're going to be impacted by how you feel. Your family is going to be happier by how you feel and how you take care of yourself. And I know a lot of women still struggle making that investment. And I say investment lightly. That could be money. That could just simply be time investment spent in you, that struggle to do that because they feel in their mind like, I'm taking away from my kids. No, you're pouring more back into them because you are a better version of you, a healthier, happier, better version of you. And your food is such a big piece of it, y'all, in every aspect of life. So I hope you, these beautiful ladies already said, if you got value, drop value in the comments. If you are all watching this replay, make sure you put replay. Our coaches love to see who did come back and actually watch it. And we want to see those that actually go through that next step and actually use the sheet with the calculate your numbers. If you actually follow through and do it and don't just take it and never even touch it, then I want you to go inside the group and I want you to drop what your calculations are just in a simple post. You don't have to use a picture or anything unless you're just comfortable doing that. Tell us whenever you actually calculate it. Download the habit tracker and post daily in there and check off your little boxes. We're here for you guys. And if you're in that place of looking for, maybe I just need to actually apply, like, just getting information never hurts anybody. We are very selective though of who we coach now. 4 years into it, we already have a lot of phenomenal, amazing clients. We do have a couple spots open, but we're very particular now who we work with, because we take pride in working with you one-on-one. We don't want 100 clients just so we can have 100 clients and make the money. That's not what it's about for us. It's the impact. So we only take on so many at a time now, because we recognize that if we take on too many, guess what? We can't give anybody very, very much good service. So just apply. I'll drop the application everywhere. Just put apply in the comments and myself or Reagan will get to you. And that's all I got. Were you going to say something, Anita?
I was just, when you talked about investing, when we talk about investing in ourselves, we think about it as a time investment, but I think primarily we think about it as a financial investment. And I just couldn't help but think that so often it's actually fear. We're afraid. And so if you can get past the fear of failure, you're afraid that you won't do good at this, all the more reason to invest in you so that you have someone to walk alongside you to make sure you don't fail. The only reason you fail is if you don't show up. And so I think that fear of just thinking, oh, I could never do that, or I won't be good enough at it, or I won't be able to get it. Don't let fear be the reason that you're not investing in yourself.
1000% yes. The mic was just dropped. Oh, it's so true. It holds us all back, whether it's fear of whatever you've got going on in your head, fear of failure, fear of success. A lot of people just fear like, well, fear of success is a real thing too. Just know that you're worth it. Whatever you choose, whichever tool that you use, just whatever you do, don't just listen to us today and not do anything, because that doesn't serve anybody and it doesn't serve your family. It will keep you nothing but stuck exactly where you're currently at, and why you chose in the first place to even listen to us today. So just do something, get moving. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you everybody who hopped on. Thank you Reagan, Lori, Anita, Colleen, Kate, Laura, Lori. Okay, I'll stop because I'll miss somebody's name. All right, y'all have a good day. Love y'all.
Bye, ladies.